It's in a context of stepped-up attacks in the Sahel, including last month's killing of dozens of soldiers in northern Burkina Faso, that France 24's Wassim Nasr reached out to the current leader of al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb with an active jihadist. It's not a straightforward interview. Wassim, thanks for being with us here. So first off, tell us, who is Abu Obeida Youssef al-Aanabi, and in what context did you exchange with him?
He's actually the head of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. He took over the leadership of the group since the death or the killing of Drukdel, who was killed by French forces in northern Mali a few years back. So he's the head of the group that heads the affiliate in the Sahel region known as JNIM, and responsible for the attacks in Mali, Burkina Faso, Togo, Benin, and Ghana, and even in some parts of northern border of Ivory Coast. So actually, it was very long to get in touch with him. It took me almost a year from the moment I asked for this interview, that the interview was accepted, and to put the terms of the interviews, meaning sending all 17 questions, and all 17 questions being mentioned, being answered. And since he's answering only by voice, I asked that the group labels the answers, meaning that will be no doubt regarding the identity of the person speaking, and we will pass a few seconds where we hear him saying that he's answering our questions.
والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد، فهذه أجوبة على ما تفضلتم به من أسئلة، وأعتذر على التأخير الذي حصل، وذلك لدواعي أمنية وظروف خاصة.
Regarding security issues.
So he accepts to answer the question he's saying in that response. And we have French journalist Olivier Dubois abducted in the northern Malian city of Gao in April of 2021. For the first time, they are claiming responsibility.
Actually, yes, it's the first time that we have an official claim of Al-Qaeda, that meaning that they are holding in hostage Olivier Dubois. We had prior videos of Olivier Dubois saying that he was hostage, but nothing official yet. So Al-Aanabi accepted to answer the question and to say that Olivier wasn't trapped, meaning that because Olivier was seeking an interview with an Al-Qaeda commander when he got kidnapped, and he says that the ball is in the hands of the French government, meaning, which is the most important part of his answer, that the negotiations could be open again in order to find a solution for the last French hostage in the world.
All right, so whether that solution is a ransom payment or an exchange of a prisoner, something that...
Well, that we don't know. We know that, for example, Sophie Petronin, who was hostage too in Mali, was liberated in exchange of liberating some prisoners in the prisons in Bamako, and not for a ransom. But in this case, the case of Olivier Dubois, we don't know what are the exact claims, but he claims, Aanabi claims, that French authorities know what are the stakes and what is being bargained actually for the freeing of Olivier Dubois.
He claims to be doing a lot of negotiating with regional governments there.
Well, actually, Al-Qaeda does politics. He says he didn't nominate any government, but he said that negotiations are open with those who want to negotiate. And we know for sure that channels were open with Mauritania, with Niger, and at what point even with Burkina Faso. That's what Al-Qaeda does. It does negotiate, and it does also make terror attacks and negotiate. They are doing actually politics and violence.
And the most spectacular of those recent terror attacks taking place in northern Burkina Faso near the border with Mali. Dozens killed last month in the near the town of Solhan. Did he mention it?
Well, it was a few years back, Solan, actually. I asked a very particular question about Solan because we know for sure that it's an Al-Qaeda unit who was responsible. He denies it. He says they are not responsible and that he doesn't have this kind of information. But what we know for sure, it's an Al-Qaeda unit which is responsible, and this comes from witnesses and from even Al-Qaeda sources. And here what we see on the map is whatever is in yellow is the operations of Al-Qaeda for last year. What is in green is the operations of the Islamic State, and what's in the white triangles are the confrontation between the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Because he said for the first time at this level of responsibility that there is only war between Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, and saying that the Islamic State militants are deviants, meaning the war will go to its end. One part will win on the other.
All right, so a turf war between jihadist groups. Many thanks, Wassim Nasr.